Okay, here we are in the InDesign tutorial number 6. We're going to save this file for output. Now, if you've come this far, then you've messed around with a few of the effects in InDesign. But now we need to make that file transportable. Okay, you can take your InDesign file to the printer and run that out. You can run out InDesign files on some of our printers, but the easiest way to do it for print is to make a high-res PDF. In the case of our Disco Kite poster, we want to put that up on screen, in which case we need a JPEG. All right. So I'll show you both of those real quick. Okay. Here we have our poster. I've decided that I'm going to run out 500 of these to invite people to our Grange Gorman opening disco, and you can know what kind of people this poster design will attract. Once I've saved that file, I've made all my changes. I'm not going to edit anything else. I'm going to go up into the File menu, and I'm going to go to Adobe PDF Exports, and I'm going to pick Adobe PDF X1A 2001. Okay, there's a number of different items here, but this X1A 2001 works fine. Okay, it's going to ask, where do you want to put that? Okay, of course I want to put that in my disco poster file. Right? It's going to save it as a PDF. Right? Now what InDesign is going to do is going to grab all those links that we have made, the disco type, the kite type, the image of the cat, and it's going to combine all those into one high-res PDF, so you only need that one file to hand to the printer. That way, if you're using different fonts, it will embed those fonts in the PDF, and it doesn't matter if the printer that you're using doesn't happen to have some peculiar font that you found on the internet and decided to use. All right, so it combines it all into PDF, portable document format. Trouble is that then if you take that to the printer and realize that you've misspelled the word kite, you can't change it. You have to change it in the InDesign file and then resave it as a PDF. So you make all your changes, all your corrections, pick the Adobe X1A 2001, we hit save, gives us this dialog box. For the most part, we don't have to change anything on there. The only thing we might change is crop marks. Now when we go to do our books, we're going to need crop marks and bleed marks. But for our kite poster, we don't have to make any of those changes. For a small file like this, it doesn't take very long. If you've got a 40-page book with a bunch of high-res images in it, yeah, it might take a couple of minutes. Okay, so if I click over here, I should have Kovar Disco Poster 02.pdf. All right, and if I drag across, it tells us that's a 2.9 megabyte file. All right, and so that's pretty easy to stick on a memory stick, take down to the printer. Okay, but we also need a JPEG. All right, so we can do File, Save As. This gives us our InDesign options. All right, what we need to do is export it as a JPEG. All right, so remember this is an A3 size image, which is a little too big to fit on screen, but we'll export it as a JPEG. It gives us this option. How much do we want to do? We've only got one page. Okay, here's our JPEG settings. Okay, asked you what resolution it needs to be. Used to be screen res was 72. Now screen res is quite different. Notice it's going to convert it to an RGB color space. So let's pretend we're making it for, we'll just pick 150 pixels per inch. Not quite your smartphone screen resolution, but that will work fine. Okay, we hit export. Now let's see what, here we go. Writes those as a JPEG. Okay, now here's our disco poster JPEG file, 722 kilobytes, right? It's made it much smaller, has compression. See if we can bring it up on screen. There it is, pretty clean, pretty smooth, pretty sharp. Okay, but we may need to resize that overall pixel dimensions in Photoshop. But with that JPEG, you could drop it into a Facebook post, stick it onto a web page, and there you go. Stick it on the internet. All right, thanks, and we'll see you for the next lesson where we'll work on an actual photographic exhibition poster. Take care.